Hey, welcome back. I'm Mark Chase and this is Chase Your Taste. Hey, before we get started, push that subscribe button down there, that little bell, let you know when I post a new video. Hey, this time we're going to make apple crisp mini cheesecakes. Hey, these things are delicious and it's the holidays, it'd be great for the holidays. So what do you say we get to cooking? Alright, this is what you're going to need for your apple crisp mini cheesecakes. You're going to need some apples. Okay, so I have 2 medium apples chopped up fine. I put some lemon juice in there to keep them from turning brown. You're going to need some quick oats, some vanilla, graham crackers, cream cheese, an egg, unsalted butter, sugar, nutmeg, cinnamon, flour, cornstarch, brown sugar, and Karo syrup. So there's what you're going to need. So what do you say we get to making some apple crisp mini cheesecakes? Alright, the first thing we're going to do is make our graham cracker crumbs. So I've got some graham crackers here. We're just going to put it in a food processor. This is my Ninja. Now, if you don't have one of these, you can use whatever you have. You can even put it in a plastic bag and beat it and make crumbs that way. But this is a little easier. So we'll put that on there, and we're going to need about 3/4 cups of this. All right, we'll go ahead and put the rest of this in there. All right, we can always use this on another project. Trying to put it on upside down. So who's crazy now? All right. All right, so we got those chopped up. So now we're ready to assemble this. All right, so let's make our graham cracker crust. So we'll need 3/4 cups of crumbs and 1½ teaspoons of sugar, half a that was 1½ tablespoons of sugar, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and we're going to go ahead and mix that up so that we're going to mix up all our dry ingredients mixed up evenly. Alright, that smells good. That cinnamon always smells good. Now we're going to add to that 3 tablespoons of melted butter. And we're going to mix this up like a wet sand. Alright, that's looking good. Okay, so there's our crust. And we're going to put these in our cupcake muffin pan, which I have liners for. Let me get a spoon. Alright, and there's our... And we're just going to put this in there and then try to get it, and I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. I'm going to try to get enough in every one of them, the same amount, so that everything cooks evenly. And we will flatten this out here in a second. Alright. Oh. Looks like it needs a little bit. Alright, so we're going to flatten these out. Now I'm going to use, you can use whatever you want, but I've got this little deal. This is from one of my meat grinders, which we're just going to take and we're going to tap this down solid on the bottom. like that. Try to get it smoothed out evenly across the bottom. And then we'll pop this in an oven, 125-degree oven, for about 5-6 minutes, so we can set this up. So when I get these finished tapped down, we'll put them in the oven. Okay, as you can see, I've got them all tapped down. So we're going to pop these in the oven, and then we're going to make our fillings. All right, so for our crumb topping, we are going to need 1/3 cup flour, all-purpose flour, 1/3 cup brown sugar, finely packed, 1/3 cup oats, and a 3/4 teaspoon cinnamon, and 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg. And we're going to get all this mixed up. Now this is going to go on the top of everything. Get all our dry ingredients mixed up really well. We don't have big old chunks of flour, big old chunks of brown sugar. All right. And now we're going to add 2½ tablespoons of melted butter. Get all that incorporated, and this is going to go on the top. All right, it's looking good. Alright, I'm going to continue to mix this up, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we got it all mixed up. We're ready to move on to the next step, which is going to be our apple pie filling. Oh, I'm making a little mess down here. So we're going to take this, set this off to the side, and get our stuff to make our apple pie. Alright, here's our apple pie filling. Like I said, I've got 2 medium apples cut up fine. And I already put the lemon juice in there to try to keep it from turning brown. So to this, we're going to add 1½ teaspoons of, or tablespoons of cinnamon. Or I'm sorry, that was brown sugar. Sorry, that was 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. 1½ teaspoons of cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg, the brown sugar, cornstarch, and that is 1½ teaspoons of cornstarch. Get all that out of there. All right, and then we're going to mix this together. And I'm going to do this the easy way. I'm going to get my nature mixer down in here and just get this stuff incorporated. Look at that, that apple jumped right out of there. I saw it. It didn't want to be part of this goodness here. So we'll get all this mixed up. Should have had a bigger bowl. All right, so there's our apple pie filling, or apple pie. our apple filling. Looks like we got everything pretty well mixed up in there. All right, so now we're going to move on to the cheesecake filling. All right, so now we're going to make our cheesecake filling. So we got 8 ounces of cream cheese, and we're going to get all that goodness out of there. We don't want to leave any behind. We don't want anybody to feel left out, now do we? There we go. Yeah, all that goodness down in there. And then we're going to go ahead and cream this real quick. Set that aside. Let me wipe my hands real quick. All right. So I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way, or should I say the new way. We're going to use a little mixer. Get this all creamed up. Turn it up a little bit. Okay, so we got that part done. So to this, come on, sit up there. It ain't gonna cooperate. There we go. So to this, we're gonna add 6 tablespoons of sugar. Half a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm just gonna eyeball it. Yeah, we're going to add a little bit more. There we go. Some vanilla and 2 teaspoons of flour. And an egg. And I already beat the egg. Put that down in there. Set that aside. And we're going to mix all this together. You're going to get all them chunks out of there, get everything mixed up really good. There we go. Alright, nice and smooth. And the rest we'll do with the spatula. Alright, we'll get this spatula out. We want to get all this stuff off the sides here. Alright, that smells so good. Okay, there's our filling. Alright, let's get that little top piece right there. Knock that right down in there. Get your... There we go. Oh, hey, jump back out of there. I got him that time though, boy. Tell you that. Okay, there we go. So now we're ready to assemble our cinnamon crisp or apple crisp cheesecake mini cheesecakes. All right, let's start filling our tins. So we're just going to take our cheesecake filling. We're going to put a little bit in each cup. We want to put about the same amount in each one so that everything cooks evenly. And this should make about 9 cups. About nine little cakes, cheesecakes. Okay, so we still got a little bit left, so we can go back and fill some of these other ones. We don't want anybody to feel left out, now do we? Yeah. Oh, that's, you know what? This smells really good. It really does. All right, we're going to take this. I'm going to tap it down a little bit. This one looks like it needs a little bit more in it. Alright, that needs a little bit. Add a little top one. There we go. Tap them down, and they're kind of even. So now what we're going to do is put our apple filling in it. So here's our apple filling. Cinnamon and apple smell. Oh, can't beat cinnamon and apple. Get back up in there. I'm trying to get out of there. Let's put a little bit more in this one here. All right. It's looking good. Yeah, that's looking good, smelling good. You know, apples and cinnamon just makes the house smell like the holidays. Can't go wrong. I need to make an apple pie. That'll really make the house smell good. Okay, so we're going to tap this down just a little bit. Let's add a little bit to that one. Okay, tap them down a little bit because now we're ready to put our topping on that. Get back in there. All right, so those look good. All right, so let's put our topping on there. I'm just going to, let me wash my hands real quick. All right. So we're going to put our topping on there. We're just going to use our hands. We're going to sprinkle some topping on there. This is the crisp part of it. Oh yeah. Now this is great for the holidays, parties, potlucks at work, neighbors. Got a couple more coming up. Gonna make a pumpkin cheesecake, mini cheesecake, and a peanut butter cup mini cheesecake. So those will be coming up pretty soon. All right, so these are ready to go back into the oven for about 10 minutes or so until everything is set up. All right. So I'm gonna pop these in the oven, and when they're done, I'll get back. All right, it's been about 10 minutes, so we're gonna pull these things out of the oven and see what they look like. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. That looks delicious. Now these things are going to be hot, so we're going to let it cool down, and once they cool down, we'll open one up and see what it looks like. All right, so it's cooled down, so we're going to pull one out. So we'll just pull these out, see if they've set up. Pull that off, and they've set up. So I'm going to take these out, set them on a plate, and we'll check them out.